Hello, welcome to part 2 of the Gatsby. That's right, here it is, the Gatsby Journal. Take a look real quick. If you missed part 1, go back and watch that. So I've got some images that I've painted in here and then basically decoupaged them down so that I had a nice finish inside here. And I've got mostly parchment and linen paper and some coffee dyed and tea dyed papers in here. I do have at least one sheet per signature of just plain lined writing paper that I've added. And I have picked out my ephemera for this. You guys know the job box. You've seen it a few times. I've got some of these little enamel crystals here. They're just really sparkly and creative, and so I decided to get some of those. I pulled some flowers. I don't think I'm going to be using a lot of flowers as far as like this journal goes, but you never know. You might find that, you know, these go well with a flapper or something, so I pulled those. I have some metal elements that I pulled just because I think that these might actually work, like for a flapper headpiece or something like that. I've got some blingy bling and some really pretty this is almost feathered, like feathered string, but it is elastic. And so I thought, you know, that might be cool and use some of that. I've got some leftover pieces here from the Halloween pack that I got from Laura over at One-Legged Witchy Woman. And I thought, you know, this is really kind of in that motif that I'm looking for. And there's some black sequins in there, so I thought that was good. I've got some washi tapes here that I may or may not use. And I have some white feathers. I'm going to see if I can maybe put some color on these using some ink or some spray, some mist. And of course I've got some peacock feathers, so I might use some of these. Never know. I have some Tim Holtz just because I like the silver and the gold in here. So I've got a set of the gilded accents. I may use those. Some thrift shop ephemera pack here. Then I have just some assorted pieces of ephemera that I have from my collection. And some of my graphics here, some pieces that I've purchased from other places. I will put a link for these in the description box. These things I just think will make some pretty good journaling cards, so I'm going to set those to the side. Now on this one I'm not doing any tags. I've got some washi stickers here from my collections. These are available in my shop, and I'll put a link down below. And I have some coffee dyed paper here that I have copied some images for, like some speakeasies and some old car ads and things, and a Tommy gun, and just some really fun stuff that I'm going to be pulling and putting into this one. And then I've made some journaling cards my own just by reducing and resizing some these are copyright free images from several different locations, but I shrank them down from the magazine size to make journaling cards out of them, so I will probably use those. This particular one I've already done. I put this through my Xyron and just turned it into a giant sticker, and then I'll put it on cardstock, cut it out. I'll do the same thing with this one eventually before I cut them. I have some of those 7 gypsy file folders, which is I'm going to use these in the middle of the book. Probably just put a gusset on either side and make it into a pocket, and put some larger things like this into it as tags, as journaling cards. So I do have some more ephemera, some larger pieces of images and things that I have that are all from the 1920s. I have, of course, my tea cards, some of my tea cards. This is like half, I think it's a third actually, of my classic automobile tea cards. So I got those that I may use. I have some borders and things that I may use. And of course the Graphic 45 Vintage Hollywood paper pad. This just has some really great papers in it. I also may use some of the papers from the 7 Gypsies that I recently got, and I may use some of the Downton Abbey stuff. So we'll just see how it goes. So as always, the first thing I'm going to be doing is going through my journal, just kind of deciding, give or take, where I want some things to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get these images cut out so we can work with these as well, and get some paper, and we will get started. So let me get these cut out and I'll be right back to you. Alright, so I've done some cutting here, and I've cut some things out. Now one of the things I did cut out was this Tommy gun that was in a violin case. Yeah. So I actually fussy cut this out. I know, bad word for me. But I used my ceramic pen to be able to cut out this center section so that I could get that out. It's actually out more than it looks, but I had put this onto a Xyron, so it's a sticker on the back. So now, and I did that so I could make that thicker. So now I've got this piece, which has also been put through the Xyron. And I'm just going to lift this off of here. And it's just going to create one giant sticker. Well, I have this very light smoke-colored textured cardstock. And so I'm just going to place this in the corner here. I'm going to be using this to back my cards. And that way, they're not blindingly white in the back. Now these I'll cut out using one of my cutters, but I'll just rough cut them right now with a pair of scissors. And I'll get a better, cleaner line on them when I run them through the cutter. Now, as for this one, I'm probably going to back that on a piece of craft paper, just because I want, or some 110-pound black cardstock, just because I kind of want that depth to it, a little bit more volume to it than what it is. So we'll have to see how I do that. I am going to be cutting these down on the cutters, but for now, I'm just going to set them over here. These are the images that I had on the tea dyed paper, the coffee dyed paper. And so I've got these cut out, and I was thinking I might, I'm definitely going to be fussy cutting out the agent, the prohibition badge, and probably Mr. Capone as well. So let's go ahead and get that done right now. So I'm going to be using my fussy cutting pen for this, just because it's easier to go around and draw a line and just trace around the item than it is to try and get that close with a pair of scissors. And I don't really want to lose any of the details here. You know, we have to treat public enemy number one with his due respect. Like I said, it takes a little practice to get used to this pen, but once you've got it, it's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to come across the top of this hat. Now, this is a little tricky because it kind of blends in. So, I'm going to come across the top here. Down his hat band to the brim. We'll just take that line out. I'm just going to trace around the brim of the hat and then back in to his head, around his little ear, the side of his face, and come down the face, just making sure that I bring those lines together, and then of course down the side of his jacket and out. And if I want to come back in and just make this a little tighter, I can just come back in with the pen and just draw in my line and make it a little bit tighter. There we go. And then I'm just going to cut across the bottom. even that out. And I kind of want his shoulders a little rounded, so I'm probably going to round out his shoulders so it doesn't look quite so, you know, abrupt. So there's Mr. Capone. I'm going to be doing the same technique with this. I'm just going to come in and just follow around, trace the lines with the pen. Now the only bad thing about this pen is it doesn't leave an ink mark. So you have to really be able to see what you're doing. I'm doing all of this trimming under an aught light so that I can really see where I'm at. Get into the corner here. And I try not to pick the piece up that I'm cutting, only because if you do, you might lose your place. So I try to make it, you know, one line. Go. Now I need to put a hole in that. So we'll get at it later. Alright, so I'm going to put Mr. Capone and the badge in there. And we're going to take a look at some of these girls. Some of these ads. Let's get rid of some of these trimmings. Now I'm going to start getting ready to work my way through. And you guys have seen this process before. So I've got all of my images and things. This still needs to be backed onto a piece of black cardstock. Excuse me. But I've got my scissors and everything. I've got my book. And so we will begin with the first process here. And that's kind of a rough walkthrough. So this will be our front page. So this will be setting our theme. So we're probably going to put some wording on here, so I'm not too worried about that. Then we'll flip the page. This will be our second page. Now what are we going to do here? So now we get down to, do we want to do one signature all about flappers and speakeasies, and the other one all about gangsters? Or how do we want to do we want to mix it up? I'm pretty much thinking, I'm of the mind, I'm just going to mix this up. So, I'll start with some little items. I've got this alcohol card here, so I'll probably add this in. Then on this side, maybe I will put in a picture of a speakeasy. So we'll flip the page. Now we're moving on to the next page. I might put in like a picture of this flapper here. And I've got this little ad here that says stay fit and slim by taking amphetamine. Yeah, we might add that over there. So we'll move on to the next one. Now I've got a writing page here, so I'm not going to do anything with this. I am not inking any of these pages because these are all tea-dyed pages. The only one that isn't is this one right here, and I'm not going to bother to ink it because it's just a writing page. Okay? So I've got this one here. It's a little girl with a car. Now I might turn this into a pocket right here in the corner because I think it would look cute with like one of these little flapper cards in there. So I'm going to probably turn this into a pocket. So what I will do is I'm going to write on the back of it just a P. That way I know I'm thinking about making that a pocket. I'm not going to put anything on this page, nothing on this page, and we're moving on to the next one. Now, I have this, which I think is adorable. And what I might do with this is just put it here in the center and then maybe just decorate it up like in the corner or something. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there and move forward. The next one, let's do this one. George R. Kelly. Now this one's going to have to be inked around the edge, just because it looks a little bland and it is on white cardstock. So we might put this up here. That leaves some space for journaling down here. And I could turn it into a pocket. I could just leave it like right here and just turn it into a pocket. Maybe it's too big. Who knows? Let's see. We have some stickers and things. We could maybe put a sticker in here. Let's see what we've got. And in the shop, this is just called the Vintage Pack. It just has a lot of really cute vintage pieces in it. Well, that's not vintage enough. That's way too vintage. Too vintage. Let's see what we got. Oh, well, this one's cute. Banker's Ale. There's a sticker that's a beer sticker. Let's do that one. And hey now. Maybe this one right here looks kind of cute. I like that. Oops. We'll definitely keep those two out because they're very 1920s. Get these back over here into the bin. Okay. What are we going to do on this one? On this one, I'm probably just going to put a pocket and maybe one of our cards. I might even just put a card here and then add a pocket. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just put this card in here. I'm going to add a pocket on this page. So we'll go ahead and move on. Now we'll move to the next one. And I think the next one, we could do this. And I may turn this into a pocket. And then I can always just, you know, put some of these journaling cards in it. And then okay, so I am back. I have gone through and kind of pieced in arbitrarily everything that I want to go in. I still have some journaling tags and things that I have not put in yet, so we will get those put in as we go. I've got some paper here from the Vintage Hollywood Graphic 45 collection and some pieces from the Mona Moore collection from Graphic 45. And I just picked these because they're basically just like floral patterns and small patterns. This I probably won't use. I may use like an image from the front or something, but I will definitely be using these to make pockets throughout my journal. Then I have some of this type of stuff that I'm going to be using in some, let's see, some blue, and I've got some of this diamond pattern here and this floral on the other side, and this one here. And I will be using all of these to create pockets throughout the book using the blue kind of as pops of color. And what I'm going for here in the book itself, not one of my normal journals. This one I'm trying to make it more like a personal scrapbook. Some of the images in here are a little different than what you might expect, but I couldn't just do, you know, flappers and Capone. I had to do it all. So you're going to see images in here of the gangland wars in Chicago. You're going to see images in here of the stock market crash and the recession and all of that, it's all going to be in here because I wanted to create this more as a definitive scrapbook of the era. So, you know, I've got some great jazz in here, and there's some pictures of Bessie Smith, Cab Calloway, you know, all of the greats. I've got some work in here for sections of Harlem in the 20s and the Black Renaissance and all of that. So everything that went on in the 20s is in this book, and I'm using it sort of as envisioning it as a scrapbook. So we're going to go ahead and get started putting some things into it today. I have some of these little pieces here. These are actually cut out of a slang dictionary for the 1920s. And I'm going to be inking these up. I know, I'm inking things. I'm going to be inking these up and putting them throughout the book in different places. Okay, so in the interest of saving some time, and putting this on camera for prosperity's sake, I'm going to go through and ink all of my little 1920s words. Plus, this way, the Amy can continue binge watching her TV show over there and not feel like she has to turn it off just because I'm recording. So I'm just going to go through and just ink a whole bunch of these up in advance, because, you know, I can put these on in different places throughout the book. You want to see something scary? I can show you something terrifying. Look, I used washi tape. I know, right? I hate to say this, but I'm becoming mainstream. I know. Say it isn't so, Bima. Oh, but it is. Yeah. It's really happening. That's vintage photo. The world is ending, that's right. There should be a musical interlude here right now, right? It's the end of the world as we know it. Should be, right?
Yeah, yes it should.
So, I'm just going to ink all these up so that I can, you know, put them anywhere I want in this book and just kind of put them here and there willy-nilly throughout it. Willy-nilly. I said willy-nilly. Let's see. And then I'm going to use this one. Down here. And this one. Right here. Okay, moving on. Alright, so this is a picture of the legendary Stork Club. I'm going to go ahead and get glue on this and get this put in. And I'm going to put it over here. And I got this right here. This is for ICE delivery service. 25 pounds of ice. I think that they would need 25 pounds of ice at the Stork Club. I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it right down here. And then this 1924 cost of living. I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to ink this up. With some black ink. And I'm going to use some washi tape just to make this kind of a flip in here. So, I'm going to mount it right over here. So I'm going to use some very small washi, some very small double-sided tape, the thinnest that I have, and I'm going to put a line right here up the side, off the card, okay? Off of the card. Then I'm going to go on to the other side, and I'm going to put a line of washi tape inside the card, all inside. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to get some washi tape here. And I think I'm going to use this one, which is my cigar bands. Is this Tim Holtz?
Yes.
Tim Holtz.
She's using the Timmy, oh no!
I'm using Timmy. Alright, so this half of the tape is exposed, so I'm going to take this side off. Come on. Sticky, sticky, sticky. Alright, let's try the other side. There we go. I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up against the edge of my sticky. Just like that. Now, the reason that I'm putting the extra washi tape on the back here is so that when you open it, you're going to get that nice look. But I want to extend it. So, same as the first time, halfway. Front, take off the washi, take off the protective piece, like that. Then I'm going to put this onto here. Just like that. Let me show you what I end up with. I end up with a half a strip out, okay? So, if I take this off, come over there, you little booger. I can come in with a wider washi, with a wider double-sided tape, and it will go from the outside of my washi tape down, just like that. And I can fold this out, take this off. It's very hard to take off the double-sided tape, you know? And then I'm going to fold my tape over. going to put my card where I want it to flop. There. Just like that. Press this down. Now I have a full piece of my washi tape on both sides. Right? How cool is that? I have a little extra double-sided tape up here, so I'm going to find my icky scissors. Anybody see my icky scissors? There they are. And I'm just going to nip that off. There we go. See? Yeah, right? And then there's a little flippy, and this is all stick down. And I have a full-size piece of washi tape on this side and a full-size piece of washi tape on that side. That works, right? Makes a hinge. Full-size washi tape on both sides. Whoop, whoop. I know. Cool, huh? It's not quite straight, but that's okay. I can deal with that. I am going to put some lace down here, so I'm not too worried about it. And I think I'm going to probably run something here. I'm just not sure what I'm going to put there yet. Moving on. Alright, we have the American Venus, Miss America. Hey! Miss America, 1920-something. I'm going to make her a down flippy. Yep, down flippy. So, easiest way to make a down flippy? Glue her on. Alright. Washi tape. I know, I'm scaring people. I'm using so much washi tape. It's kind of weird though, because I mean I own a huge amount of washi tape, but just don't use it. So, we got washi tape. Fold it down. Turn it over. It's not going to stick to anything, let's be honest. Washi tape. Cut it off. The only thing freaking washi tape sticks to is itself. Did you know that? Alright, so I'm going to put a piece of washi tape here on the back and one on the front, and then I have two pieces just like this. So I'm going to take a big piece of this and I'm going to put it on there. And again, I have some washi tape hanging out that I don't want, so I'll cut that off. There we go. Full piece on this side, full piece on that side. Washi tape! Alright. I didn't do this in the beginning, so I'll do it now. Just going to ink this up a little bit. I'm probably going to add some ribbon or something to this. Some lace around it. I don't know. But I'm just going to put a little ink on it for now. Just to kind of be a placeholder. Let's say that. Alright. Next page. I like the next page. The next page looks just fine. Just the way it is. I'm going to leave this all open. What I will do is put some photo corners. I'll attach those here with a paper clip. moving on. I have this little calendar here. Not quite sure what the deal is with the little calendar. I don't know what year it is. But it's kind of yucky looking, so, you know. It could be old. Come in. Get this with a little more. I want it to look dirty. Some glue. General rule of thumb, if it's cardstock, it gets glue. If it's paper, it gets tape. Alright, so I got this calendar, which I'm going to put actually sort of towards the middle of the page. I know, right? How many people are yelling right now? Just by a show of hands. Oh my god, I can't believe she did that. She put it in the middle of the page. It's against the rules. Alright, I have extract concentré ou fleur. English translation, some smelly flowers. Alright. Back over here to the distress ink. Yes. There we go, a little more vintage photo. And what the heck? A little black too. We're schmootzing it up. There we go. Close that. Little glue. I'm schmootzing. Alright, little glue up here. Off center. Never anything squared. I don't know why, but I don't like things squared. Unless it's dead in the corner. Alright, then we got this broad over here. I don't know what her story is. She's probably a mobster's girlfriend or something. She looks like it in that coat. Maybe she was Babyface Nelson's mall. Alright. So I got her. She's all schmooched up. And I'm going to put her down here in the corner. But I'm going to use her as a tuck, so I'm only going to do the two corners. She's going to go down here, and I'm going to leave this open because I'm going to put some lace on the page. And I am going to put in a journaling card here. Maybe not be the one that I leave, but I'm certainly going to place one in this position. And I think over here I'm going to put a pocket. And I'm going to do that, I think, in this kind of pinky flower stuff, which does not fit in my cutter. Of course it doesn't, right? That's okay. I have more cutters. So I'm going to use this piece. I'm going to go about 1.5 inches here, 2 inches. Go. And we need this to be, I should probably write this down so I'm not constantly having to do this. 5 3/8. So we're gonna go. How about that? I'm so good. Look at how good I am. Alright, pocket. down, across, and up. Pocket. Now when I put my pockets down, I have this, like I push in with them a little bit, just to make them have a little more room. And I'm going to put a card in there, because it's going to be a card holder. Now, this one was fun. I found this guy. Isn't he cute? Yeah, see, look, check him out. He's one of Chicago's finest. And he's pointing here at these bullet holes in this store. So, I'm going to round the corners on this. I know, look at this mess I got, right? And I am going to put him on the page, and I got this cool motorcycle, and so let me just kind of dirty this up a little. It's not a sticker, it's actually just chipped cardstock, you know, but it's glossy, and I want it to be a little bit dirtier than that. I'm just kind of hitting it with ink. So I'm going to put him in. And he is on a lightweight cardstock, so I'm not too worried about the glue. And I am going to put him in the middle here, bringing him in just a little bit because I'm probably going to put some kind of trim on this page. And then we're going to put the motorcycle on. Alright, so we are just over halfway through the first signature, and I'm going to call this one a day. I will be back in the next video to work through the rest of this signature and get started on the second one, where, hey, prohibition ends. Till I see you again, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, like me, ring my bell, and share me with all your friends, because I got motorcycles in Chicago's finest, and all kinds of stuff going into this Gatsby Journal. Till then, bye-bye.